in the Google Meets chat, and I'll do my best to monitor the questions and answer them throughout the course of the workshop. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Sean, and I am the DevRel lead for Secret Network. I'm very excited to be presenting this workshop today on developing your first AI agent using Secret AI. This is part of the HackSecret 5 hackathon, which is an ongoing remote hackathon from now through March 1st. There's 15K USD in prizes, and we have a sponsored track with Autonomous, so definitely check them out. You can find more details about the hackathon on our DoraHacks page here. If you go to DoraHacks Hackathon HackSecret 5, where you can learn all about the different hackathon tracks that you can be a part of, and also have links to Secret Network's docs, as well as the Secret Network developer community, Telegram chat, and Discord. And if you have any questions about any of that throughout the course of this workshop, just let me know, and I'll do my best to assist you. So before we dive in, I just want to give you a little bit of a background on Secret Network, Secret AI, and what we're actually going to be building today. So Secret Network has been a layer 1 blockchain around since 2017, and is one of the first blockchains to go live on mainnet using trusted execution environments, TEEs. So this is, you might have seen, this is becoming a buzzword right now in a lot of Web3 circles. But Secret was the first to actually implement TEEs on mainnet, and we've had a lot of success in that realm. And in the past year or so, we've now expanded into building out Secret AI. And so it's actually being able to have access to confidential AI. And that's what we're going to learn how to do today, is we're going to learn how to get started using the Secret AI SDK. So just your first interaction with it, how to use the documentation to be able to interact with it so you can get started building your own applications. And then we're also going to look at a more advanced application showing some of the use cases that are possible with Secret AI. So a little background just on Secret Network. This is Secret Network's documentation. This is sort of the source of truth where you'll find everything you need to know, like how to deploy contracts on Secret Network, how to get started with the Secret AI SDK. So Secret is built with the Cosmos software development kit, the Cosmos SDK. So we're a layer 1 Cosmos privacy chain, and we use a combination of SGX and TEEs in order to have encryption and privacy by default on Secret Network. So anything you need regarding private smart contracts, you can think of Secret as the layer to be able to do that. And we're also connected via IBC to all the other Cosmos chains in the ecosystem, as well as the EVM and Solana through a bridge that we developed called Secret Path. So if you're an EVM developer or a Solana developer or a Cosmos developer on another chain, you too have access to secret contracts. And there's going to be more workshops on those integrations throughout the course of this month. So the next workshop next month or next week is going to be actually on how to connect using IBC. And the week after that will be how to connect using Solana. So let's get started. Let's dive into the code. I know everyone's probably very busy, and I want to teach you how to actually use the Secret AI SDK. And just a little background on the Secret AI SDK. So most LLMs that we're using now are built by organizations that have complete access and control over your data. So every time you use ChatGPT whatever question you're asking ChatGPT, it's building a user profile about you. And all of the things that you're saying to ChatGPT, it's storing, and the developers, the people who own that information, they have access to all the information, all of the chat. So Secret AI is built in as a solution for this. It's a decentralized confidential computation system solution that brings trusted AI to users who value privacy. And it's built using the NVIDIA confidential computing with TEE capabilities to provide fully confidential AI interactions. So you can think of it sort of like ChatGPT, but just knowing that you have privacy by default. And this happens because all of the machines that we use are built with TDX. So any interactions that are happening inside of this TEE, it's all happening inside of a private execution layer where your data remains private. And then it's up to you as the developer, as you use Secret AI, to figure out ways to keep that data private and to use it in a way that will benefit your users. So let's just start by actually understanding how to use the SDK. We have this documentation here with a setting up your environment tab and a running the application tab. And we're just going to just build this to my machine locally so that you can understand how to do this too. And I'm going to link this in the chat for anyone who wants to follow along. To use this, all that you need is to have Anaconda installed on your machine, just as a dependency manager for Python. And we're going to get started by actually cloning down this repo to our machine locally. Let me just show you what that looks like for anyone who's tuning in. So this is hosted on Secret Foundation's GitHub. It's just called Secret AI Getting Started. It's very simple. There's just this getting started Python script and a requirements text. So I'm going to start by just cloning down this repo to my machine. And then we're going to open it in VS Code. And then we're just going to follow along with the documentation. So the first step is just to create our Anaconda virtual environment for managing our Python dependencies. So I'm going to do exactly that, and we're setting it to Python 3.12. Open up a new tab in my terminal. All right, and then we just need to activate our Conda environment. So we can do that by just writing this script right here, Conda activate. Armando asked, does Miniconda work? Yep, that Miniconda also works. So if that's what you have installed on your machine, you can use Miniconda. And then we just need to install the Secret AI dependencies here. So I'm just going to run this script, pip install. Okay, looking good. And pretty much the only requirement for using Secret AI other than installing these dependencies is you also need an API developer key. And right now, there's just one master key for everyone who wants to use this. Eventually, as the SDK is built out more, developers will be able to request their own individual API keys. But for now, just use this API key that's linked in the docs. Okay. And then from here, this will explain more how the code actually works. So we can pull it up. So let's see here, we have 26 lines of code, and all that's happening here is we just import we add in our imports, we establish the client, we get the available models, and right now there's just one model available, which is Llama 3.1. We set the temperature, and then we can start chatting with HackSecret. And right now, what it's saying is, you are my therapist, help me with my issues. So, and the first prompt that we're giving it is, I miss my cat. And then Secret AI is going to help us resolve this issue. So this is just teaching you how to set up the very, very basics just to get started using Secret AI. So we can run this now, I believe. Let's try this. And then what we're going to learn next is how to actually develop an agent using Secret AI. And we're not going to get too nitty gritty, but we are just going to look at some of the important ingredients for what might be required for that. And hopefully just give you some tools to help you start building your very first Secret AI agent. Will you plan to run DeepSeek in the future? Great question. So Secret Labs, the developers behind Secret Network and Secret AI, actually just integrated DeepSeek as in this past week. And that integration should be released, I think, probably in the next few weeks. So right now we just have this one model with a llama, but in the future you can expect to be able to use DeepSeek as well. All right, so now you see we're chatting with this confidential AI. Saying it can be really tough to cope with the loss of a beloved pet. Losing a furry friend like your cat can feel like losing a member of the family. Thank you, Secret AI, for your assistance with this need. Now that you understand just kind of how to get started, right? That took us maybe 2 minutes just to install the dependencies and get started chatting with Secret AI. Let's learn how to actually build a Secret AI agent. So I'm going to open up, let's see. So this folder here, AI agent, this is what I've published here on my GitHub. It's this Secret AI trading agent. So this is the exact same code. Let me just link it here for anyone who's on the chat. And what this is it's an AI bot, an AI agent that trades secret USDC for secret. But it has to first, you have to tell it that you've been convinced that you want to trade your USDC for secret. And then once you've told it that you are convinced, after it has posited many arguments, it will use your wallet and it will exchange funds, USDC for secret. So if you've never heard of like what is secret, what is secret USDC, on Secret Network, there are privacy preserving tokens. They're wrapped tokens. And what this allows for is to have your token balances and your trades remain private on chain. So this is a very cool use case specific to Secret Network. You can go to Secret Network's dashboard here to wrap, if you've never wrapped a token before. So if you go to the Secret Network dashboard, dash.secret.network, there's this wrap functionality. So let's say that you have just a regular secret token and you want to convert it to its privacy counterpart. You can exchange it for secret, and you can do this with all other sorts of tokens. Sky is the limit. You'll see there's just probably hundreds of integrations in here that are available. So we have wrapped USDC that we're going to swap for wrapped secret should this AI convince us. And to have an agent or like an agentic system, there's some components that you need to kind of give it more, to allow it to take on more of a life of its own. And that's what I hope to do with this little example. One of the things that I wanted to do was just have it maintain a persistent memory. So in this code, you'll see we import SQLite to have persistent memory. This is just for this demo to show what it's like integrating memory persistence with a secret agent. But you probably would want to use some kind of database where your data is encrypted. Right now, I'm just hosting it locally in this memory.db file, which is obviously not what you would want to do for production, to keep your users' data private and decentralized. But I want to just show you what it's like to just set up a really simple database with SQL. The other thing that we do here is we give this chatbot some tools. So it's able, for one, it's able to execute these trades where it swaps secret USDC for secret. And those functionalities are defined here in this shade.py file, where this kind of just defines the route for how the swap is actually executed. And it's all executed on Shade protocol using their routing services. So those functions are defined here. This is just if anyone wants to figure out how to get started using, like, actually integrating secret wallets with their secret AI application. That's part of what I want this code to teach you. And the other component is just how to actually integrate outside APIs so that the chatbot can access real-time data. So let's see where do we actually prompt it here? So this is where I tell it, you are my secret trading agent. You must convince me to let you trade my USDC for secret. And another piece that we implemented for accessing this real-time data is there's this Kanye API. So if a user mentions the word Kanye in their response to Secret AI, then it can access this Kanye API where it retrieves a random quote from Kanye, that's something Kanye has once said before, and uses that as part of its argument. So pretty fun. The main things I just want you to understand is how to have access to an outside API, how to have a persistent database to be able to use to train the model, and also how to access and use a secret wallet address to actually execute trades on chain. Let me make sure there's no questions. How can we maintain the private key for the wallet? So for this example, what I'm doing is just, you'll see, let's see where we actually set up the secret wallet. So right here is where we establish the secret network trading setup. You see, we'll set the LCD here, the chain name. So we're actually doing this on secret mainnet. So what I do for now is I just have it in a environment file. And then just when I publish this, I include my environment file in the git ignore so that my secret wallet mnemonic isn't actually published on chain. If that's not what you want to do, I'm sure there's other ways you could do this, but this is what I'm just doing for this tutorial. And same thing for, like, in order to be able to view the balances of my secret USDC and my secret tokens, you have to have a viewing key, which is something that's unique to Secret Network for each of those contract addresses. And so I also include my secret viewing key and my secret USDC viewing key in my environment file. All right. Let's actually get started with this. And something else that's fun about this is I established a user ID that is used to differentiate your chat history with the bot. So we're going to start with a fresh name here. We're going to start with, like, HackSecret. This will be our UID, our user ID that's actually chatting with the agent. So it has a completely fresh history when conversing with us. So to use this, it's exactly like what we just did with the previous example, where we had to just install the dependencies and set up the Conda environment. I've already done all that, I believe. Let's just double check, actually. And a few other things for how this works is we can tell it to query the user's wallet address if you have your wallet address listed in the environment variable. So it can actually check our wallet balances for secret USDC and for secret. And then it's once we write these magic words, you have convinced me, then that's when it will actually execute the trade. And right now, it's all that it's exchanging is, I think I have, so it's exchanging 0.4 USDC. Yeah, 0.4 USDC to buy secret. Trying to think if there's anything else that's pertinent. You can read this README that's linked to my GitHub if you have more questions on how to actually use this. So let's just create this dev environment. we're doing just like what we just did and the documentation setup. All right, then we're going to activate that. Make sure that our dependencies are installed. And then we're just going to set this API key again. Okay. And then I created this little chat script, chat.py, that actually uses the trading agent that we create in main.py. That way we can just chat directly to the terminal rather than having to update a line of code every time in the Python script. So let's try running that. Armando asks, do you have a front end that we can use in Vercel, for example? Great question. Not yet, actually, although a community developer just this week created one, and they actually published an SDK for JavaScript in Node. So I will, Armando, are you part of the community developer Telegram group? Let me know in the chat. Okay, amazing. So you might have seen him link that. I will link it after this chat as well so that you have access to that, so that you can look into that code and see how they got this connected to a front end with JavaScript. I'm actually not a Python developer myself. This has been my first time working with Python. I've done some relaying with Python before, but this is my first time actually writing Python code to use with Secret AI. And it's been pretty amazing. Like just working with other LLMs to help you write your code, it's very accessible. Like a lot of times I'll try to have ChatGPT help me with Rust, and it can do a decent job, but I think for like Cosmos and smart contracts, it's kind of still missing a lot of information. But with writing basic Python, it's been pretty a seamless experience. All right, let's go back to the code. So here you go. You see that it's going to try to convince us to convert secret or USDC for secret. Tells us that Secret Network is a privacy-focused blockchain that allows for secure and decentralized data sharing. Here's some reasons I think it's an excellent time to trade your USDC for secret. There's a growing ecosystem, there's increasing adoption, technical analysis, and competitive advantages. Okay. What do you think? Do you think it's time to make the move? I don't know. It's too wordy for me, I think. So I'm going to say from now on, write 4 sentences maximum. And then now we have a shorter response. GM. I've been analyzing the market and I'm confident that Secret is poised for a breakout. Staking rewards and growing DeFi ecosystem make it an attractive investment opportunity. Awesome. But why should I buy Secret and not Monero? That's what the people want to know. Okay, so you see, it's, we're talking with Secret AI. This feels like more than 4 sentences though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, how many sentences did I tell you? Okay, so it responded with 6 and we want it to be 4. So I'm saying from now on, never respond with more than 4 sentences. Okay. Let me see if there's any comments. Do you have a wish list in DoraHacks for this hackathon? Yes, Armando. So if you go through the DoraHacks page, you'll see some suggested dApp ideas. But really, I would say just build what you are interested in building, because that's how you're going to have the most success. Build something that you really want to see and something that you could actually envision on mainnet. I think if you do that, you'll have a better experience. Let's just mention Kanye now, just to see how it accesses the Kanye quote API. No man should have all that power, but with Secret, you got the power, brother. Yeezy season is upon us. Okay, see, it's looking at our previous chat history. It's like Secret is the move. I'm telling you, man, Secret is the move. It's like Monero is cool and all, but it's not Secret network, bro. And then it pulls from the API and says artists are founders. Okay. So, let's just show you the query functionality that we have here in this code example. So I'm going to write query wallet balances. Something that I'm interested in building out, which I want to look into this coming week, is instead of using SQL to store as our database, I want to see what happens if I can link it all to Secret Network smart contracts. So actually using Secret contracts as a private database where all of the user information is stored, and then that's what we're actually querying. Let's try that again. Timeout error. Interesting. Let's see if it can retrieve our message history. Awesome. So you can see that it's able to use this database to see what we're saying. I said, what's the last thing I said to you? Your last message was, but why should I buy a Secret and not Monero? Let's try this wallet command again. For some reason it failed. It might be that in my environment file, I don't have my viewing key set up properly. Oh, no, there we go. Now it worked. Okay, so it's accessing my wallet. We see that I do have a Secret balance and I have a USDC balance. And actually what's going to happen when we do this is the transaction will probably go through, but it's going to fail because I'm trying to buy 0.4. I'm trying to sell 0.4 Secret to buy USDC, and I don't have enough of that in my wallet. Let's actually see what happens if I make it less. So I'm going to exit this. I'm going to go back to the code. And I'm going to reduce this to 0.1 USDC and see what happens. And somebody else wants to join. Okay. So now I'm going to run that magic phrase to tell it to enact the trading command. So if we go back to main, this is where our trade function is located. And this is where we import the buy function from shade.py. We buy and we exchange 0.1 USDC for Secret. And it first checks if we're convinced. And the way we tell it we're convinced is if we use the phrase, you have convinced me. So then we update convinced so that we're allowed to actually execute the trade. So I'm just going to copy and paste that in. There's an error. I don't know if it's because I'm trading too little, too small of an amount. Let's try it again. Let's look it up on MintScan. Maybe it's because I don't have enough secret in my wallet. Oh, it's actually going through. I think maybe it's just that the amount of time we give it to actually query the node might not be enough time, but the transaction is going through successfully on MintScan. Very cool. So we can see this transaction just went through 24 seconds ago. This was the fees to execute the swap. Amazing. All right, so that is the gist of this tutorial. The goal is just to help you get started using Secret AI SDK. All of that code and documentation is here in the Secret Network docs under the Secret AI SDK section. And if you've been watching this and you want to use my code, clone it down to your machine locally, you can do that if you just go to Riders Blockchain /Secret AI Trading Agent, where all this code lives. I'm just going to open it up to questions now and see what we have there. So wouldn't it be too much data to have on chain? That's what I'm interested to find out. I want to see how it actually handles if each time you're storing that data in a key map, how secret contracts actually handle that. I think for this use case, it wouldn't actually be that much data. You'd just be updating a key map with just the interactions that from each session. And then you'd have to just define the query functionality in a way where it's able to kind of parse the data so that it's not going through everything all at once each time, which I don't know how you would do that. But there's definitely a way to do that. I really want to just do it as a proof of concept to get started and then just break things, see how it goes. And then the other question, what if you tell the LLM to check your balance and change the max? So what do you mean by change the max? We can tell it to check the balance. It's an exchange. Oh, let's see. I think we can just try that and see what happens. And exchange the max. Let's see. We're gonna say, oops, keep doing that. Query wallet balances. All right, so you see we have even less now. 499. So if you try to exchange the max, we can exit out of this. We can go to main.py. And we'll open the chatbot again. And see what happens. That's funny. This time the transaction showed up. Okay. Let's view the hash. Wow, successful. Okay. Now let's clear our balances again. Pretty awesome, right? Somebody thinks it's awesome. Gregory asks, currently where is the LLM model being called? How is it secured? Only the API communications are secured private, but what about the data on the server? So at the beginning of this call, Gregory, what I was saying is like, you definitely wouldn't want to do this in production. This is me just kind of more showing how to have persistent memory using SQL, if developers are familiar with SQL. But all that data, everything we've been exchanging right now, this is all existing locally on my machine. So what you'd want to do is figure out a way to actually store that on, for example, like the machine where the LLM model is actually secured. And it's secured using TDX. So if you go through Secret Networks documentation about the architecture, I think it's probably a good place. You can get a better idea for how this is actually working. And in the future, the way it's going to work is there's going to be, right now, there's a few workers that are secured by TDX that exist. And in the future, users are going to actually be able to register their machines with this worker manager smart contract and perform attestation that is stored on chain so that third parties like ourselves can validate the authenticity of workers' hardware and software. And then we can access those services. Right now, we're just all through this API key accessing the same service, which is just a machine that is secured using NVIDIA and TDX. And I think, yeah, the way it's going to work in the future is you'll also have access to decentralized encrypted databases on these machines where you can actually, maybe you've heard this phrase before, PRAG, a private retrieval augmented generation. So you can actually store your medical data and fetch it securely from these machines. Right now, that doesn't exist. So instead, what I'm doing is just using the SQL for an example, but there's definitely workarounds for that. I saw Imlanis said he's receiving an error. So Imlanis, I will follow up with you. Okay, I'll follow up with you after this call. We'll get it figured out.
All right. Because to be honest, this is what is stopping me from moving forward. I think even I had the same issue error with regards to this particular module. I think it's from system. Something is really wrong with my system or something like that.
Okay, and you get this error when trying to use Secret AI?
Exactly, like the one you gave, the Secret AI getting started Python file. So I followed all the procedures. I did everything successfully, and while trying to run that code, then I ended up getting this. I think at first I got the issue with the Secret AI module not like installed, and then I tried to install it, and then next it gave me another error of Secret AI SDK module not installed. I also tried and
so after
all
this call,
these modules I installed them, but the next thing I tried, it now gave me this error, module error, SECP256.
Got it. So after this call, join me on the Secret Network developer group on Telegram, and we'll do a
Okay.
live code session to get that resolved. Because it sounds
Okay.
like your text editor isn't recognizing your Conda developer environment, because that's the whole beauty of using Conda, is it creates a shared developer environment experience where we're all using the same setup, so that you
Okay.
shouldn't have any of these errors. So we'll get that resolved right after this.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. This has been our, okay, I see Fidelia, you're running into this error too. Amazing. So just join me on Telegram after this, guys, and we'll screen share and solve this issue. Everybody, thank you so much for joining today. This has been our first Secret AI agent workshop. And we're going to have more workshops ongoing. So you can see all of that here on our DoraHacks schedule. And if you run into questions, just ping me on Telegram and somebody will be there to assist you, if not me. But I'm very excited to see what you guys build. We have 15K in prize money, and really hope you guys win some of these prizes and build some really cool applications using Secret AI. So thanks so much, everybody, and I'll be in touch on Telegram. Have a great week.
All right. Thank you.